Hi, I'm Andrea Angella and welcome to the Practical C# video series. In this video, I want to talk about project references in C#. I'm using Visual Studio 2017 Community Edition, and I have a solution with two projects, a console application, Practical C#, and a library called My Library. I want to show you how you can reference your library, My Library, from the console application and actually use it using Visual Studio. So let's do that. The way to add a project reference to a project, you need to click on References, right-click, Add Reference. Inside the Project Solution, you can see the list of projects, and you check this one and you press OK. As you can see now, My Library is listed under References, and now you can use any type provided by your library inside your solution. In this case, My Library provides a string utils class that I can use directly here in order to count the words of a text. Let's say I love C#. Let's run it and see if it works. Excellent. So now my console application is using My Library in order to perform some particular task. And this is actually how you add a project reference to a project. But it's very important to understand what actually happened under the covers, so that when you deal with the project conflicts, you can understand how to solve them. I put all this code into a repository, so all the changes we made since the beginning of the video are now recorded. And if I click on Team Explorer, you can see what are the changes that happened. Of course, I've changed the program, but also you can see that Visual Studio automatically changed the Practical C# csproj file. If I double click on it, you can see that this file contains a lot of stuff about your project, and Visual Studio added an item group here, and in particular a project reference tag. This project reference is actually what actually made this project to reference your library. As you can see, include provides a relative path to the csproj of your library. Then you need to provide a GUID of the project of the library and the name of the library. And this GUI is actually the project ID that is actually present inside this file here that is included. Let's have a quick look at that. If you go back in the solution on My Library, you need to do undo project first, and then you can do edit My Library, csproj, and you can see that here I have a project GUID. So this project GUID must match the value that we enter inside the project reference tag. It's a bit convoluted, but this is actually how, so far, you add project references in projects. Fortunately, Visual Studio does it for you, but it's important to understand what happened under the covers. Now, what I want to tell you, since Visual Studio 2017 has been released, Microsoft simplified greatly how C#proj files can be created, and I want to show you that because also the syntax, to add a project reference changed. So let me reload My Library, and now I'm going to edit and show you how to do this. If I unload my console application project and edit it, I want to show you that you don't need this anymore with the new syntax. You don't need to provide any of this. You only need to provide the SDK that you want to target. In our case, we're going to target the .NET SDK. We don't need the import. We only need the target framework. But the syntax is slightly different. Instead of v4.642, we need to do .NET 462, like that. Everything can be removed. And let me keep the reference, okay? But we don't even need the GUID anymore. We don't even need the name of the project. So I can just do let. I can just say project reference and then provide the location of the csproj that you want to reference. So look at this, it's amazing. So it's incredibly simpler now. All the C# files are automatically added inside your projects by default. And the only things you need to do is to provide the target framework and include any project reference you care about. That's it. Let's reload it and see what happened. If I reload it and try to build, oh, we got some errors. We get duplicate, system reflection, assembly company attribute, configuration attribute, and so on. Another thing that Microsoft did is automatically is creating the assembly info for you. So this means that you don't need assembly info file anymore, but you don't need it. Now, if I build, you don't see any conflicts. And if you look at what happened here, references has been renamed to dependencies, and you see your project dependencies under projects here, and you can see your My Library reference is still there. Okay, so this is basically how you can add dependencies in Visual Studio. Obviously, we did it manually, but if I remove the dependency here and I edit the file, look at this. This is important. I don't have to undo the project and do an edit. I can just do edit directly. This is another improvement that has been made. See, now the dependency is gone. So obviously the project is not in a compilable state. If I want to add it in Visual Studio, I do the similar process. Right-click on dependencies, add reference, select your reference, you do OK, and then let's see what actually Visual Studio added for you. Pretty much the same things that we added manually. Okay, so now from Visual Studio 2017, you can add your project references in a very, in a much simpler way. Unfortunately, there is no simple tool that allows you to automatically convert the old C# project syntax with the new one. You can do it manually fairly easily, as I demonstrated in this video. When you create a new .NET Core or .NET Standard projects, the new templates already provide the new syntax. But unfortunately, if you create a full .NET framework project, Visual Studio still use the old syntax for you. And this is it. So this is how you can add project references in your files. And keep in mind that from 2017, the new syntax is a lot simpler, and you can avoid a lot of pain and conflicts when you deal with C# projects going forward. If you like the video, please share it with your friends and coworkers. And if you want to learn more about C# and stay up to date with .NET and get a notification every time I release a new video, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.